calculated and intended to, if not harm, terrify the occupant of the house, and he should count himself lucky he didn't kill anyone. During the trial, the jury heard the man who lived in the house had been dating Denley's former partner and the mother of his children. No one was hurt in the shooting. Denley was arrested shortly after the shooting and was recorded on several prison phone calls continuing to threaten the victim. With time already served, Denley will be eligible for parole in January 2026.
Security measures will remain the same at Canberra Airport after a gunman opened fire yesterday. No one was injured when the 63-year-old shot at 3 glass panels. Some flights were delayed and others cancelled. Flights and operations are back to normal, although the gunman's motive remains unknown. The airport's chief executive, Stephen Bryan, says there are no future security concerns.
I do think the incident was handled exceptionally well by all the people. I think the measures that were in place were entirely appropriate and effective. And I think the collaboration between the teams was also a key part of the way in which it was managed.
The federal government is determined to catch the criminals rorting the National Disability Insurance Scheme. New intelligence shows people with a disability are being extorted by crime syndicates seeking to steal their entitlements. A multi-agency task force will be established within weeks to target the culprits, and DIS Minister Bill Shorten says they must be stopped.
We've got to put the resources with police, resources with tax office and resources with the Disability Insurance Agency. See, these crooks leave patterns. They're actually stupid and lazy, many of them, and we just need to put the time in to catch them.
The World Health Organization is opening up a way for the public to suggest new names for monkeypox. There have been more than 31,000 cases of the virus identified globally, which is not spread by monkeys but through human-to-human contact. Infectious diseases expert Robert Boyce says the decision has been made in line with best practices for naming diseases.
The World Health Organization is very keen not to stigmatise, whether it's by culture or by country, or by religion or by sex. And so they've tried to make it simpler, and they've actually called on the general public to come up with a better name for monkeypox.
Now turning to 5AA Sports, senior figures at the Essendon Football Club are set to move on following a disastrous season. Jordan Tunbridge has more.
Change is coming at the Bombers after their biggest loss of the year, an embarrassing 84-point thumping by Port Adelaide at Marvel Stadium. The Neil Mitchell program has been told Ben Rutten will not coach Essendon's final game of the season against Richmond, with Daniel Giansiracusa to step up as interim coach. It's also reporting Paul Brasher is stepping aside as president, with media veteran David Barham to assume the role. This all comes as four-time premiership coach Alistair Clarkson searches for a new job after taking a year off. GWS and North Melbourne parted ways with their senior coaches earlier in the season.
Australian golfer Cameron Smith has missed an opportunity to claim the world #1 ranking at the St Jude Championship after finishing equal 13th. And the West Indies have avoided a series clean sweep by beating New Zealand by 8 wickets in their third T20 international. The Kiwis have won the series 2-1. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Highbury, look out for crash on Lower North East Road at Valley Road. At Wingfield, the railway terrace crossing is closed for works. Detours in place there at the moment. In the Parklands, Rundle Road is closed between East Terrace and Kettle Terrace for the Illuminate Festival. And we're busy right now, South Road at Mile End. A few cameras on the drive home to look out for. Commercial Road, Seaford, and also Lower Athelston Road at Athelston. At TPG Telecom, your business journey is theirs too. For reliable, secure, fast and affordable telecom solutions, visit tpgtelecom.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast. Showers tonight, a low of 9. Partly cloudy tomorrow, 16. Wednesday, a possible shower, 18. And Thursday, showers continuing, 17. Right now, it's 14 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
You can trust 9 News is live and local, while others do their news from Melbourne. 9 News is made in Adelaide for Adelaide. Weeknights at 5.
First in Adelaide's 9 News at 5.
Nightly at 6.
And the unprecedented police operation.
We go to some breaking news now, and crews are right now at the scene.
And that's why the switch is on to 9 News.
It's the Berkowitz Big Brand Sale. Save up to 25% online or in store at Berkowitz Mile End.
This is Jade Robran.
Welcome
back to Afternoons. It is 6 minutes past 3 o'clock, and that time of the week when we talk about our furry friends, our pets. Pet Talk with Dr. Derek McNair.
Pet Talk back with Dr. Derek McNair.
Happy Monday to you.
Thank you very much. Happy Monday to everybody.
And you've been busy cooking on the weekend.
I'm busy. Yes, actually. I'm a terrible cook.
Are you?
I am a terrible cook. My wife and my son are amazing. They are fabulous cooks. But Jill and I, we finished work late yesterday afternoon, so we just quickly rushed into the supermarket and bought the ingredients for the Chris Jarmer's veal and ricotta meatballs.
Been listening to the Smeg Food and Wine
We were listening.
show.
We were listening on Friday, and we thought, "Oh, this sounds good." So we looked on the website and went through the recipes, and we used pork rather than veal, but that's the only thing we changed.
Yum.
One is it's really cheap. Two is it's so easy. If I can cook it, that's the test. If you get a recipe that I can manage, it's very, very easy.
It's foolproof.
Oh, it was delicious.
And pasta? Did you have it with a fettuccine?
No,
or
we
spaghetti?
actually we should have. No, we actually just had it with vegetables.
That's very healthy.
It was very healthy. It was very healthy. We had like a French style spinach.
Do you know, this is, I'm going to write myself a little note because I have pork mince in the fridge and I thought, what on earth am I going to do with that? I am going to make meatballs tonight.
It's easy. And the recipe you have on the website says it makes 50 meatballs. So we just cut it in half because we thought that sounds like a lot. And yeah, we had lots last night and I had it for my lunch again today. Yeah. And there's still some left over. and it's, there's all these things about, saving money and cutting down your expenses. That recipe will do it.
And then you can have leftover subs, meatball subs the next day.
Yes.
Delicious.
Good
okay.
idea.
Well, anyway, we're not here for the food and wine show. We are here for the veg
But next week,
show.
every week, I'm going to have at least one recipe that we're going to do. So I'll come and report the next one next week.
Please do. And we're going to make you from an average cook into an excellent one.
The word impossible springs to mind, but there's definitely room for improvement.
If you'd actually like to not talk about food, but rather your pet, we'd love to hear from you. 8223 30000. Kevin's messaged in and said, how do you know if your dog has a kennel cough?
Okay. It sounds like they've got something stuck in their throat. Everyone comes in and says, I think my dog's got something stuck in their throat because they come in and it's constant. Oh. If they come into the clinic and they have their consult and they don't cough while they're in the consult, they don't have kennel cough because it's almost a continual thing, and it just sounds like that. It sounds like they've got a tickly throat, they're clearing the throat, and it's caused by either viruses or bacteria. They can both cause them. In most cases, if the dog is fit and healthy, then it sort of runs its course, and it usually takes 10 days to a fortnight to clear up. If we have a young dog or an old dog or a dog with other problems, then we'll give antibiotics to basically to prevent it from working its way into the chest, because it can become a bronchitis and then a pneumonia. So, but for healthy dogs, it usually sort of just works its way out and disappears. And there's lots of different bugs that will cause it. The two most common ones are the ones we vaccinate for. And if your dog's ever going to kennel, so if you're thinking, I don't know how many days it is till Christmas, but it's getting close.
Yes, you do. In fact, I think you know exactly how many. You are one of those people that counts, aren't you?
I did a couple of weeks ago, but I forgot. I think it was 160 a couple of weeks ago, so it's probably 146 now then, if I take the 2 weeks off. So make sure you book in for catteries or kennels if you need to, because they get booked up often a year ahead. And make sure that your dog has the kennel cough vaccination, because that is essential, or they won't be allowed in.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, you need to get it. They need to be up to date with what's called the C5, which is the 5 diseases are distemper, hepatitis, parvo, and then there's 2 kennel coughs, bordetella and parainfluenza. So, and all good kennels require that your dog has had those vaccinations recently.
If your dog is not going to a kennel, do they need those vaccinations?
It's strongly recommended that they get the distemper, hepatitis and parvo. The kennel cough is also recommended, but it's not the killer disease that the other ones are. The other three are hideous and usually kill your dog if they get them.
Golly,
So,
how do they get them?
They get them from close proximity to other dogs. The parvo is the one we see from time to time. Distemper I haven't seen for probably 30 years, which is good, and that's because the vaccination is so good. Parvo is a virus, and again, close contact with other dogs, but it can actually survive very happily in dog poo for many, many, many months. So even if your dog does not come into close contact with other dogs, if it gets out in the street and walks around and sniffs around, the risk is there.
So pick up after your dogs.
Pick up after your dogs and get your dogs vaccinated.
Helen's messaged in saying, I've just bought a puppy. How often should I go to the vet?
Depends how old the puppy is. Puppies should get 3 vaccinations initially, one at about 6 weeks of age, which if you get a dog from the breeder, it will have been, or it should have been vaccinated with that one. And the next one at 10 weeks of age, and then they are free to have freedom from 11 weeks of age, but then they should still get a booster at about 14 weeks of age. And then if all those checks are good and happy and they get wormed as well and heartwormed as well, then sort of apart from their desexing, once a year hopefully is enough. Okay. And so, and the age that dogs get desexed, this is a bit of a grey area at the moment. Depending on the breed, depending if it's male or female, depending on lots of things, it's sometimes beneficial to delay the desexing till they're a year and a half sometimes, as it's been now shown to reduce the risk of some cancers, and in some dogs it strengthens up their cruciate ligaments, which any football fan will know about cruciates. So yes,
it strengthens them by desexing.
Yes. No, by delaying their desexing.
Okay.
If you desex them a bit later, especially with big male dogs, they found that the hormones will actually strengthen up the cruciate ligaments. So,
wow.
Yes. So it's an interesting thing. It's quite technical, and probably too technical for me, that if they get desexed, they lose a bit of a feedback mechanism with what's called luteinizing hormone, and that can be then present in too high amounts, and that can increase the risk of some cancers. So, but it varies from dog to dog and breed to breed and male and female sort of thing.
Fiona has messaged in saying, I've moved from Melbourne to Adelaide. How do I change the microchip in my dog's details? You can either get vets to do it, we can help you with that, or you can go online and do it, or you can get a form from vets that you fill in, and it's just, you can actually do it yourself. You can actually log on. I'm thinking we do it at the clinic all the time, but you should have your own password to go on. You can go on and go onto your pet's details, and then you change your address, and if your phone number's changed, which it probably hasn't, then you change that as well. So it's very important. It's very important. We have lots of dogs that get handed in and they don't have collars, they don't have phone numbers on the collars or tags or anything, and you get the microchip. You scan the number, it's got this big long number, and then we can go into the computer system and go to the online thing, type in the number, and it says, this is George, belonging to Jade Robrin, here's her phone number, and then we can call you and say we've got George at the clinic. So every dog and cat should, and it's legal now, should have a microchip, and it's a no-brainer. Yeah,
it's safe to do. It's really cheap, and if you lose them, you'll probably get them back.
So you say,
and it's also, sadly, it doesn't happen much, but some dogs get stolen.
Yes, of course.
So if they get stolen, then this is a way that you can prove that this dog is yours. If you, and we had it about 3 years ago. It was a very sort of a sad story. These people had bought a dog in Gumtree, and then 6 months later, it was a puppy. 6 months later, they brought it into us to get it desexed, and they said, well, we'll get a microchip, but we scanned it before we microchipped, which we always do, and we found another microchip.
Oh, no.
And we found that the previous owners who had the dog as a puppy, the puppy had been stolen and then sold on Gumtree. So these people had bought this dog, this puppy, and then...
And loved it for 6 months.
And loved it for 6 months, and then they actually had to give it back. There was a legal thing with that, unfortunately. So
oh, heavens, that would have been heartbreaking.
Oh, terrible.
So
terrible.
the family that bought it in the first place would have probably given up hope of finding it. Did you make that phone call and say, hey, I've found your pup?
Yes. No, I wasn't at the clinic on the day this happened, but one of my vets did. Phone them and say, we've got it. And oh, goodness.
They wouldn't have believed it.
They had been looking, and obviously people who steal don't usually take the dogs to the vet, so they just sold them. So
mongrels. And then the second family are obviously heartbroken
terrible.
And without the money that they paid the dog for.
Yes.
Oh, that's an awful story.
It's an awful story, sorry.
Well,
but it's a big ad.
It happens, and to be aware.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Jason's joined us. Hello, Jason.
Hey there, how's things?
Good, thank you, buddy.
Good. Dr. Derek, I've heard you talk in the past about giving dogs pineapple to stop them eating their own dropping.
Yes.
I've got myself a big golden retriever who, if I'm not careful, he will do that.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is that tinned or fresh pineapple, and how much?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's tinned or fresh. And usually for a golden retriever, I'd give them about, if you do the tinned stuff with little cubes, I'd probably do about 3 cubes a day. So about a third of a ring of pineapple should be enough. There's actually new stuff on the market now, Jason. It's only come out in the last few months, which we have. Your vet's probably got it as well. Lots of places have got it. I'm not sure how well it works. The company obviously says it works really well. And again, it's stuff you put in your dog's food and is meant to hopefully stop this unattractive habit that they sometimes have. So it's, I can't remember, it's called coprophagia or something or other. But yes, if you phone your own vet, Jason, they've probably got it. If not, give my clinic a call and you can just drop in and pick up
with
some.
With the pineapple, are the sugars in that going to cause weight problems? He's a golden retriever, so I've got to watch his weight.
Not that amount. Not that amount. If that shouldn't make much difference. Does he get dry food?
Dry food, and occasionally a tin of sardines, maybe once a fortnight.
Okay, if you're worried about his weight, cut down the dry food.
That's what we've done, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
It won't make him be going to the toilet more often because he's actually a guide dog, so he's not going to be going to the toilet more often. No, absolutely not. It's not a diuretic's not the word. It's not something that makes him go to the toilet more often. It actually just sort of, we don't want to get into this in the afternoon. It just seems to, it puts them off. Thank you, Jason. You did help me. You helped me out of a very tricky situation there. It puts them off. But yes, with a guide dog, absolutely fine. Shouldn't have any side effects. I haven't heard of any dogs who've been allergic to pineapple. So it should be okay. Some people say pumpkin does it as well, but I haven't had that sort of feedback. With the pineapple, it's about 50% success rate. But as I say, just for them with his normal food, then
yes, yep. Once a day, and if he gets a couple of meals a day, you could probably put just start off just with one sort of cube in each meal, and
Beautiful.
and see how you go. And if that doesn't work, then make inquiries about this new stuff that's on the market.
Thanks, Jason, for calling in. And if you'd like to join the show, we'd love to have you because Dr. Derek is only with us for a few short moments. 8223 0000.
Are you ready for TQCSI Balaclava Cup Day, Wednesday, September 14th? All-inclusive and marquee packages are now available but selling out fast. Plus, tickets still available in the ring, located in the heart of the action at $170 per person. General admission just $30. Return coach transport is available too. TQCSI Balaclava Cup Day, Wednesday, September 14th. It's the most fun you'll have all year. To book, simply Google Balaclava Cup.
With IGA's community give back sale, you can make big savings
and help support local causes.
Just look for tickets on specials like Mars Medium Bar or M&M's 35 to 56 gram, 90 cents each, better than half price at your local IGA. Offer ends August 16 while stocks last. Excludes Foodland.
Our pets are such a comfort, and to some of us, they really are part of the family. So to show them you care, why don't you head into your local Cheapest Chips for some amazing catalogue deals that are out this Sunday. They keep you warm with snuggles all winter, so return the favour with a Cuddle Pet bed, which is only $35, or a Mishka round plush cat bed for $44. Call into your nearest Cheapest Chips and grab an enclosed cat toilet, a must-have for only $40. And don't forget to pick up a cat litter trap mat for only $34. There's loads of great deals like the 8-panel puppy playpen for $39, or check out the Coral Fleece pet blanket, only $14. So get to your local Cheapest Chips for amazing catalogue deals out this Wednesday. Even pets live cheaper every day at Cheapest Chips.
When you've been around for over a century, you know a thing or two. And Business SA and Ray White have almost 300 years between them. So when an alliance is formed between Business SA and Ray White Business Sales SA, they're bringing all their experience to your business, making sure it's in top shape, whether you're buying, selling, or somewhere in between. Get in touch with the experts, Business SA and Ray White Business Sales SA on 8300 0000. That's 8300 0000.
I'm Richard Pascoe, Adelaide Tech Guy, talking motorisation by Country Blinds. Big outdoor spaces mean big blinds, but Country Blinds motorisation can handle them. Country spent years selecting motors that can lift loads as heavy as an adult human. Heaving on crank handles and cords is hard work, so contact Country Blinds for new motorised cafe blinds or shade blinds and take a load off. It's outdoor living made so much easier. For a free measure and quote, visit countryblinds.com.au.
Get saving this month at City Discount Tyres. When you buy 3 Wild Peak AT3W all-terrain tyres, you'll get the 4th tyre free. The perfect tyre for your next adventure. City Discount Tyres are a proud multi-tyre and wheel brand retailer offering great service at great prices. Visit citydiscounttyres.com.au to find your nearest store. City Discount Tyres. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tyres. It's the Berkowitz Big Brand Sale. Save up to 25% online or in store at Berkowitz Mile End.
This is Jade Robran.
Welcome back to Pet Talk Back with Dr. Derek McNair. If you'd like to call in and ask a question about your furry friend, we'd love you to join the show, 8223 0000, or flick us through a text message, 0448 08 1395 is the number. Mary from South Brighton has called in. Hello, Mary.
Hello. I'd like to speak to Dr. Derek.
Hello, Mary. Hello.
Yeah, I've got 10-year-old ex-racing greyhound that I've had for 5 months.
Yes.
When I got her, she would come out for a walk, without too much of an effort. Right now, in the last... Well, she's had 4 teeth removed, too, since I had her.
Yes.
But she will not get off her chair. We could just about pull her head off to get her off the chair. She will not go out for a walk.
Is this just today this has happened?
No. This has been going on now for about a month, I suppose.
Okay.
Since the really cold weather set in.
Yes.
But I keep it.
So,
she's got jackets on.
Right.
I just think she's been to the vet. She's had a course of arthritis injections.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know whether she's just lazy, doesn't want to go.
So
is it a problem if I just let her go, let her do her thing and sleep for 20 hours a day in a chair?
Does your vet think that she's got arthritis?
Yeah, she did when she gave her the injections, when she had the course of injections. Yes.
Okay. So she got those injections, the 4 injections a week apart thing.
Yes,
yep.
she did. And that was about 6 weeks, or finished about 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Do you think they helped at all?
Well, it's difficult to tell because she wasn't getting out of the chair.
Yes.
She'll just get out to go out and do a wee. That's about all she'll do.
Yes.
Doesn't have her tea. And she's spending, 20... And I worry that she should be exercising, but there's no way I can get her to do it.
Okay. Two things. those injections only help 4 dogs out of 5. And so there's 1 dog out of 5 they don't help at all. And for the 4 dogs out of 5 that they do help, they have variable success rates. So there's a possibility they may not have helped at all. And I think there's two things you could think of and you could try. One is I would talk to your vet about getting some anti-inflammatories, because they pretty well always work with arthritis. So get them in case she's in pain and the injections haven't helped. And so you want to make sure that she's not in pain. Did your vets run any bloods?
No. That'd be a good idea to get that done.
Yeah, I think so. For a 10-year-old greyhound's, you know.
She's had a long racing career. She's been a champion.
Yes.
So I know that she's.
But also, yes, if she's basically become more lazy, you know, is she more tired? Is there a problem with some sort of organ? Does she have a liver or a kidney problem or something like that, or a heart problem? I assume the vets probably checked her heart when she was in. So you want to make sure that there's nothing else physical that's making her not want to get up and go for a normal walk. And as I say, if it is, once you've eliminated all those other things, if it is just arthritis, then I would certainly try anti-inflammatories, because those injections don't always work.
Good luck to you, Mary. Stay in contact.
Yeah, let us know, please, what happened, how you get on.
We've got Marcus in Camden Park. Hello, Marcus.
Good afternoon, Dr. Derek and everyone else that's listening. Just got a quick question in regards to chicken necks. We've got a 2.5-year-old whippet. He's a male. He's day-sexed. He's fit and healthy. Gets plenty of exercise. And yeah, I've heard, you know, not so good things about chicken necks, and just wondering if they're good or bad. He probably gets 2 or 3 of them once a week.
Right.
So it's not his full meal, so just every now and then he has them. Just, your thoughts?
No. I am not a fan of chicken necks.
Okay.
In smaller dogs especially. And and that's because sadly, I have had 2 little dogs brought into my clinic at Norwood, and they were actually brought in already deceased, and it was because they hadn't chewed the chicken neck. They'd basically just and they just sort of swallowed it without chewing it into small pieces, and it actually got stuck at the back of their throat, and they literally sadly choked to death. So I'm not a fan of chicken necks. I'm a fan of chicken wings, chicken carcasses, anything that is in a regular shape that is a lot less likely to get stuck there. I know of a big dog who choked to death with a big bone. So you want to, one is you want to sort of be around when they're eating to make sure you can keep an eye on them. But for whippets, ideally you want a really big bone. So if you get a marrow bone, take the marrow out, because the marrow is too rich and fatty, and that can give dogs tummy problems and pancreatitis and stuff like that. But it's too big a bone for them to swallow, to get into the mouth at once. So that's much, much safer. So for me, Marcus, sadly, if your whippet likes chicken necks, find an alternative. But I don't want to see a third dog come in the same circumstances.
Well, that's a no to me too, because I give Georgie them.
I do, yes.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
So I won't be doing that anymore. But
No.
he doesn't scoff. He's just a very delicate, slow eater.
Yes.
But doesn't matter by the sounds of it. You just never know.
No, because you need to make sure they're chomping it up before they swallow it. And I'm sure a lot of dogs have just vacuumed chicken necks and they've just gone right down. But and for literally, I'm sure billions of people around the world who feed them, you know, the risk is very small, but it's a risk that I think
not worth
can be
taking.
avoided. Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Derek. And if anyone's listening and wants to reach out to you, they can find you at the Parade Veterinary Clinic on
836353. I was thinking you were asking for the address there, so I was going to give the address.
Either.
Oh, look, 27 the Parade, 83635323.
Thank you, my friend. We'll see you again next week.
Thank you.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamarek. Former Prime Minister Scott Morrison is under growing pressure to explain why he secretly granted himself extra pandemic powers. A man has been sentenced to 8 years behind bars for firing 6 shots into a house at Andrews Farm 2.5 years ago. The federal government is determined to catch the criminals rorting the National Disability Insurance Scheme, and there's reports struggling Essendon is poised to sack its coach Ben Rutten. Showers this afternoon. Low of 9, partly cloudy tomorrow, 16. Currently it's 15 degrees. More news at 4 o'clock and As It Happens on 5AA.
Costs are on the rise and the weekly home budget is getting tighter. Well, never fear. We're here to help with 5AA's food, fuel or the footy. Listen to us, David and Will, from 6am.
Or Rowey and myself, Timmy G, for the drive home to win your choice of 3 prizes.
You could pick up a $200 food or fuel voucher, or maybe you'd prefer a night out with tickets to Showdown 52 and a $100 dinner voucher. The choice is yours. It's all thanks to our friends at Foodland. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
You know us for our bright blue vans. Metropolitan Plumbing, Electrical and Air Conditioning. We are the proud winners of the Product Review Award for Plumbing in Australia for 2020 and 21. Did you know we offer $0 deposit interest-free payment plans, have no extra charge for after hours and can also often be at your door within the hour? Metropolitan Plumbing, Electrical and Air Conditioning. Available 24/7.
Can I have a flat white to take away, thanks?
Sure, that'll be $10.
Sorry, but the cafe down the road has the same coffee beans and the same milk for only $4.
Yeah, well, ours is $10, Dal.
Ah, I see.
Should have gone to Specsavers, because whether you're buying coffee or hearing aids, you shouldn't have to pay top dollar for top-of-the-range features. Book a free 15-minute hearing check today at specsavers.com.au/hearing. Conditions apply.
G'day South Australia, it's Cheats here. Over the years I've seen some great South Australian teams, but the best has to be the team from BL Shipway, who I've known for over 30 years. They've been looking after the state's hydraulic and pneumatic needs since 1953. You can find them on Richmond Road with stock on hand from quality brands like Ryco, Rexroth, Hydac and Enerpac. If you can't get to them, they'll send a Ryco 24/7 van to you anytime, anywhere. blshipway.com.au, a South Australian team you can count on.
You don't have to be a curator to find artworks you can't get anywhere else in the world. Just visit Art by FIVEAA. They're proud to host unique Indigenous artworks in their gallery, and even prouder sending these artworks home to be admired for years to come. All pieces at Art by FIVEAA are ethically sourced, directly supporting Indigenous artists and communities. Visit the incredible range at 1070 South Road, Edwardstown. Art by FIVEAA, a family company specialising in Indigenous art. Mini Jumbuck, now in McLaren Vale, make Australia's favourite wool bedding products, proudly made right here in South Australia. Mini Jumbuck uses the finest Australian wool to handcraft their quilts, mattress toppers, pillows and more. Sleeping with wool allows your body to adjust to its ideal temperature, so you'll sleep more peacefully and wake refreshed. If you're looking to improve your quality of sleep, start with a visit to Mini Jumbuck McLaren Vale today, open 7 days. Mini Jumbuck McLaren Vale, Australian made, Australian owned.
Life is a journey, and the path you choose is yours alone. Choose vitality and go with your local Go Vita. Go Vita health food shops are proud of their 30 years worth of health and wellness experience. It's what helps their natural health practitioners specialise in you. Go Vita is your destination for trustworthy, professional and personalised health and wellness advice, and an extensive range of products and services. Go Vita, Colonnades, Fairview Green, Marion, Mount Barker, Monopara, Semaphore and Tanunda.
It's the Berkowitz Big Brand Sale. Save up to 25% online or in store at Berkowitz Mile End.
This is Jade Robran.
Welcome back to Afternoons. It is 25 minutes to 4 o'clock. Coming up after 4 o'clock, a huge day in sport on Rowey and Timmy G's Sports Show. They'll come and join us a little later to tell us what's going on. But now...
Nothing you could say could tear me away from my God. My God. Nothing you could do, 'cause
having grown up with priests Nuns for Parents, my next guest has landed a role that suits her down to a T. Cabaret superstar Libby O'Donovan will play Sister Elizabeth in a brand new show coming to Her Majesty's Theatre. Libby joins us now. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Oh, look, Libby, I absolutely loved Sister Act. A light-hearted look into the world of nuns. Is Sister Elizabeth a teeny tiny little bit like that?
Yeah, definitely. Does that mean you'll come along? Because it definitely
Yes,
is.
definitely.
Look, it is lighthearted and it is fun because I think, especially at the moment, we all just need to go out to the theatre or go out and see some live entertainment where we forget about our troubles and our woes and just have a great time. And that certainly is what I'm planning with Sister Elizabeth. I've always been fascinated by nuns and the way that they've been portrayed in pop culture, movies, television, books, theatre, everything. Because I grew up in the church and I hung around a lot of nuns. In fact, you know, for a really fun family holiday, our family used to go to a convent. That's right. Just get your absolute bikinis out for that one. So we just, you know, I had a lot of nuns in my life. And so I saw this reality of what a nun was. And then you start watching television and movies and seeing plays and reading books. And I'm like, hang on a minute. Like, the way that nuns are portrayed is so fascinating. And there is a general fascination about nuns. I mean, I cannot tell you how many nun movies I have now watched in terms of research for this role. And a vast majority of the films that feature nuns are actually horror films.
True.
True.
You're right, because you can't see them coming.
Yeah.
Can you?
You can't see them coming. And they don't walk, they waft. And don't ever look in a mirror. And don't ever walk down a long hallway. I mean, they are just constantly turning corners with their arms clasped in front of them and wafting around. But that's what I love, because there's this one element of the sort of virginal, pure novice, like The Sound of Music. And then there's also this other element, which is sort of like stern Mother Superior. And then there's always, you know, the buffoon nun who's in every movie, and the bumbling fool. And then there's always like a brooding, you know, questioning nun. It's just really fascinating to look at all of the ways. And it really is just about human condition. We're just portraying them in a certain costume. But the fascination, especially with horror, lies with the fact that they're so mysterious.
True.
They live in communities. They live with each other behind big walled buildings, often really, really old buildings, and belong to an order of a society of secretive women that are living in these great big old buildings. And it's like, what's behind there? And I think part of the fascination in pop culture is trying to guess.
Yeah.
But when you look at the reality, it's different. To what pop
Do you know, it's
culture.
probably really fun. A whole lot of girls living together and, you know, just able to chit-chat and have fun. There'd be some elements of that.
Absolutely. We all have a little bit of nun in us, surely.
We've got something in common, because my family used to take us back to Wyalla and stay in the convent.
Oh, how beautiful.
It was sometimes, but freakishly scary when you're a young kid.
Totally, you see, there's where the fascination is and where the
Yes.
horror movies come from.
I get it. So what was it like growing up in a household with parents as priests? Was it a strict upbringing?
I didn't have a strict upbringing, but I did have as in, it wasn't strict, like I didn't have the fire and brimstone parents who said, this is the absolute and you must follow it. Otherwise, you know, obviously, I mean, when you grow up in a religious environment, it's really funny. It's like, say, your punishment for not doing the dishes or doing something that's considered maybe worse than that, like a sin, is not that you'll have your iPad taken away from you for, you know, that night. It's that you will have eternal damnation. I mean, it is quite the big threat there.
Okay, yeah.
But I
Not a
didn't-
few Hail Marys.
No.
Or, okay.
It's like you're gonna, but I didn't have that. Thankfully, I was brought up in a very sort of free will, very loving family. So I was fortunate, because a lot of people who have been brought up in religious households sort of suffer, unfortunately, but I didn't. But we didn't have a television or anything like that, so all I knew was church. All I knew was singing, church, community, that kind of thing. I just didn't have an outside influence really of what else was going on from a broader perspective. Like I remember, because I grew up in Broken Hill, I remember when we first got a television, I was about 11, and watching it, and I could not believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe it. And in Broken Hill, we had shows that would start from the beginning when the rest of the country had already seen the shows, like, you know, years and years before. So, like, for example, about 20 years after it happened on a country practice, Molly died. And the whole town was like, what? And like she'd already gone, like the country practice had stopped airing everywhere else. I mean, so it was kind of cool in that way, you know.
So is this show then a part of your history as well as your thoughts and our thoughts in society of what nuns are? What's the show about?
Thanks for asking. It is about that. It's definitely about things from my childhood and things from growing up in the church, obviously, but it's also really a fascinating look at the ways nuns are portrayed. And the good thing about it is there are so many films with great music. After horror movies, really the next genre of nun flicks are musicals. Sound of Music, as you said, Sister Act, fabulous songs in that. And then, of course, we have our own South Australia's Sister Janet Mead, the first ever #1 gold record pop singer, and she happened to be a nun singing the Lord's Prayer. And of course we have the Singing Nun, there's Sally Field in The Flying Nun. There's so many of these great nuns.
Now you say it, there is a lot of nun movies out there, isn't there?
There's so many, and so many have great music. And I thought, how fun would it be to bring all of that fabulous music, uplifting music, together in one show, and also explore the very many ways that nuns have been portrayed. It's just fun.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. It's lovely to have you. And tickets go on sale today.
Yes, they do. Exciting.
Brilliant. Cannot wait to see you. And I love the film clip because we all need to just laugh and have a bit of fun because, you know, your industry was completely rocked. You've had a few ups and downs in the last 12 months. So I bet it's great just to be back on stage and laughing and singing again.
That's absolutely right. And a little sneak peek preview. I am actually officially Sister Elizabeth.
I know.
So I'll tell you all about it at the show.
Love it, love it. Thank you so much for coming in, Libby. And you can see Sister Elizabeth in all her glory at Her Majesty's Theatre. Tickets go on sale today, as we said. You can jump onto Adelaide Festival Centre or onto Ticket Tech. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Join David and Will each Friday on the FIVEAA Breakfast Show as they speak to power excitement machine Orazio Fantasia. Orazio! Thanks to Rainwise Pools. Family owned, building pools in SA for over 15 years. Google Rainwise Pools Adelaide.
With fuel prices the way they are, it's now more important than ever for your car to be fuel efficient. Peak performance means peak efficiency, and that means Automasters. Book now for an Automasters peak performance injector service. Petrol or diesel, your Automasters specialist will clean and service your fuel injection system to ensure your vehicle is running at optimum efficiency. Save fuel, save money. Get the best out of your car. Call 1300 Automasters. Peak performance guaranteed.
Like shocks shooting through your body.
That's how some people describe their shingles pain. Shingles is caused by the reactivation of the chickenpox virus. While most people recover fully, up to 25% may experience long-term complications.
I had to cancel all my plans and struggled to work.
Up to 1 in 3 people risk developing shingles in their lifetime.
If you're 50 or over, don't let shingles affect your plans.
Talk to your doctor for more information. Individual symptoms may vary. Sponsored by GlaxoSmithKline Australia, Melbourne.
Everyone at the back, please. Sitting quietly, please. In a circle, thank you. Today we're going to talk about what we'd like to be when we grow up.
A police girl. Race car driver. I want to be a gymnast. I want to be a concreter. With Adelaide Exposed Concrete. I want to be a concreter too. Me too.
AdelaideExposedConcrete.com.au. Best on ground all year round.
What's a concreter?
What starts with A and ends with E. Supplements for you and me.
Arbor
FIVEAA health supplements are now available at leading chemists and health food stores nationwide. Ask for FIVEAA at your favourite pharmacy.
Still in manual mode bookkeeping for your business? Spending hours each month on spreadsheets? It's time to BizTrack your business. BizTrack will do it all for you. Invoicing, credit checks, tracking, payment options and so much more. You'll literally save days a month with BizTrack. It's so easy to use. Plus, you'll have a live support team right here in Adelaide. Step out of the dark ages and shed invaluable light on your business. Everything runs better with BizTrack. Visit bztrack.com.
You know us for our bright blue vans. Metropolitan Plumbing, Electrical and Air Conditioning. We are the proud winners of the Product Review Award for Plumbing in Australia for 2020 and 21. Did you know we offer $0 deposit interest-free payment plans, have no extra charge for after hours and can also often be at your door within the hour? Metropolitan Plumbing, Electrical and Air Conditioning. Available 24/7.
With fuel prices the way they are, fuel efficiency is more important than ever. And that means a peak performance injector service from Automasters. Ensure your vehicle is running at optimum efficiency. Save fuel, save money. Call 1300 Automasters.
It's the Berkowitz Big Brand Sale. Save up to 25% online or in store at Berkowitz Mile End.
This is Jade Robran.
Welcome back. Well, for 5 years, 8-year-old Marley struggled to breathe. He'd choke on his food and he really just couldn't do the things that he loved, like play footy and basketball, because as much as he tried, he'd struggle to breathe. And doctors told his family that he had asthma, but that just didn't sit right with his mum, Sky. And mother's intuition just kicked in. She knew that there was something more sinister going on, and it's lucky she did keep pushing. To share their story, we're joined by Marley's dad, Jay. Marley's dad, Jay, joins us on the line. Jay, thanks so much for joining us today. You're in and out of doctor's appointments, is that right?
Yes, and currently in Melbourne, yeah.
So what's happening tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Marley's having an operation to remove a fistula from the connection between his esophagus and his trachea.
Man, and is this because of years of damage because of what's happened?
Yes, so usually kids are born with it and they pick it up straight away and they get onto it, but Marley's is being caused by the foreign object that arts and crafts flower. It's actually cut a pathway over the 5 years.
How are you guys feeling?
Nervous, but the hospital and everything has reassured us, spoken to the anaesthetist, so it's going to be pretty hard seeing what he's going to be like after operation, but they've, reassured us, and yeah, no, they've done brilliant. The hospitals, both in women's and children's in Adelaide and in Melbourne.
And is this going to be the end of what has been a very long and painful 5 years for you?
We hope so. We hope so. That this is the end. So.
And so, will Marley be okay after this? He'll be able to breathe and talk properly. What's the doctor said?
So the doctors told us that he'll most likely have about five tubes coming out of him. So his recovery could be, they've told us could be up to 8 weeks, but could be as short as 3 weeks.
Oh man, Jay, how did this all begin?
What it was Marley just used to cough a bit, and he used to choke on foods. Like his favourite food when he was really young was watermelon, and he used to always choke on it and bring it up. And so the wife was concerned. We were concerned, obviously. So we went to the doctors, and over the years, the doctors sort of said it was asthma. And he was on Ventolins and puffers and all of that, and it helped. It did help, but then the cough just kept reoccurring, and he'd play sports and he couldn't breathe properly, and every time he ate or drank, he'd just cough and cough and cough. And so the wife was just in her own mind, just was not happy with it, just coming down to asthma.
Yeah, good on her.
So we just kept going back to doctors, and then finally we just got into the hospital, and the hospital did like put cameras down his throat just to have a quick look, and they saw this. They didn't know what it was at the time, but it just looked like a black dot. And they said, "Look, we're going to have to fly you to Melbourne because it's close to his main artery to his heart, and they've got the right cardiac team in Melbourne, and they didn't want to risk doing anything in Adelaide." So that was on the That was just before Christmas. And then, after he had the cameras out, he was in ICU, and Sky and I were, oh no, what's going on here?
Yeah,
That's when Annie Roberts actually said to us, no, we've got to get you to Melbourne. So we came to Melbourne 3 days later, and Melbourne, they did the camera thing too, just to reassure what they were doing and what was going on. And, they pulled out a plastic flower, arts and crafts flower.
What was your reaction when you saw that? I mean, relief and like, I can't even imagine how you would have felt.
Oh, yes, no, we were actually really relieved because they were talking about operation and all of that, and we were worried, oh, Marley's going to be operated on. And then, they pulled out the flower, and Sky and I were relieved, like, oh, my God, he's come out without a scar on his body. And, we all thought it was done and dusted, and Melbourne sent us home 2 days later once they removed the flower, and we thought it was all over and done with. But then again, we got home, and Marley was doing well, but then again started coughing and choking on food again, and we were just, oh no, what's going on here? So straight back to the hospital we went while they were, in the process of all of this. And he just went for more tests, MRI scans, CAT scans, drinking fluid while in CAT scans, and they just couldn't quite get it. And then he was in the middle of a CAT scan and he coughed while drinking the fluid, and it crossed over into this pathway, and they were like, yep, there it is.
Oh, wow.
And then from then on, we've just been waiting. So that was from Christmas, just after Christmas, and we've just been waiting on their plan and what they were going to do. And it was about 3 weeks ago we flew back to Melbourne to meet up with the team, and they wanted to do some more scans and whatnot. And, they've come up with a plan now and plan for his operation, which is tomorrow afternoon, which is going to be quite a big operation, we think.
Jay, what kind of kid is he? Is he a tough kid? Is he like, did you just know? I mean, obviously this gut feel that a parent just knows, there's something just not quite right. This isn't my son. What you're giving me is just doesn't sit right.
Yeah, no, Marley's a very tough kid. Like, what he's been through and how he's gone about it was just amazes Sky and I. And, he's a very, very active kid. Loves his sports, plays football, plays basketball, and, he loves it. Absolutely loves it. But then, he'd get out there and it'd be slow, he'd get tired, and that wasn't him when he was younger. So, but, he gave it a crack and never gave up. Always was up in the morning wanting to go to football, always wanting to go play his basketball game, and never said no. Like,
and is that what he's looking forward to, getting back to all of that, and you guys in particular seeing your son fully fit again and being able to achieve his dreams?
Yes. No, that's all Sky and I want, just for him to be out there and have no restrictions on, like, his body's restricted at the moment, and you can see it in Marley. He just wants to keep going. He wants to keep giving it a crack 100%, but his body just won't allow him. Like, he's breathing and coughing. But he sits down on the bench, has his little break, has a bit of a puffer or whatnot, and then up he goes again, and he just does not stop. And, that's what Sky and I are just amazed by. Like, he just does not give up.
Has any of the doctors here in South Australia said, look, we're really sorry, we didn't examine it for far enough?
You know what, this is what Sky and I didn't really want. We don't want to kick it back on the hospital, you know what I mean? They did end up finding it. It was all right, it was with Sky a gut feeling, and just kept putting pressure. But, they like I said, this fistula type thing happens in kids that are, like, born with it. So, the team we've got in Adelaide, Annie Roberts, she's amazing, absolutely amazing. We couldn't wish for a better doctor. She's coming over, she's flying over to Melbourne today to be with us here in Melbourne.
And you're wanting to raise funds, to give back as well, aren't you?
Yes, we're in the process. We put a mark on it. We'd like $2,000, and I think we've reached $698 in the last 3 days.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Who's Jay's favourite footy team?
Marley's is Port Power.
So he'll be watching the showdown on the weekend?
Oh, of course he will.
Who's his favourite player?
Ollie Wines.
Oh, beautiful. Can you wish him all the very best and our love and support to you guys tomorrow as well?
We will do, for sure.
Thank you, Jay. Good luck.
No, thank you very much.
And as we know, costs are on the rise in the weekly home budget. It is getting that little bit tougher, but never fear. We are here to help you with 5AA's Food, Fuel or the Footy. Make sure you listen to David and Will for breakfast. And coming up next, Rowey and Timmy G for the drive home for your chance to win. And remember, you do have a choice of either a $200 food or fuel voucher or a night out watching Port take on the Crows in this weekend's Showdown 52 with a $100 dinner voucher. It's all thanks to our friends at Foodland, with more stores close to home and everyday low prices. Great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies. So the sports show with Timmy G and Rowey's coming up next. Have a fantastic afternoon. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow afternoon. Bye-bye.
Dreaming of a new bathroom or kitchen? Get the best brands and the latest trends at Adelaide Bathroom and Kitchen Supplies. The ABK Supplies showroom has just been renovated to showcase a range of Australian-made customisable vanities. Brands like ADP, Timberline, Marquee